Story 1. My husband 33M told me he's no longer attracted to me. 27F. I'm currently pregnant with twins. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. Thanks. I don't know what to do or if there's even anything I can do. This is basically my last resort before considering divorce. We have been together 7 years and married for 3. This is my first very planned, very on purpose pregnancy. I've never been with anyone besides my husband. He was my first kiss and everything else. He, on the other hand, not so much. I have a pretty high ass drive, and so does he, so going to 5 times a day if we have time is pretty normal for us. After I hit around the 12-week mark of my pregnancy, he stopped initiating or responding to my sexual advances. It hurt, but he said he was stressed due to things at work, so I stopped making any sexual comments for a few weeks because I didn't want to add any extra pressure to his life. A few weeks passed and I mentioned that this is the longest we've ever gone without just trying to see where his mind was at, and he said, "Why does it matter? Are you cheating on me?" Which took me for a loop. I don't take cheating accusations lightly and feel like if you say that, you should be ready to stand on it. It's insulting to my character, demeaning, and honestly downright disgusting. I told him those and how it made me felt, and he just got quiet. I told him I would never cheat. I'm not pathetic enough to do that. If I wasn't happy with him, I would just leave him. I have every ability to do so. He got emotional and said he was stressed out about money and some petty debts around $5K. So after we finished talking, I was thinking of a way to help him be less stressed, so I sent him $5K from my savings. I've been working full-time for over 10 and something years at this point and started investing a few years ago, so my savings account is comfortable. I told him I sent it to him, and he asked why, and I said the debts, and he said, "What debts?" And I just stared at him like the ones you just cried in my lap about. He says something like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just so off today," and goes to sit on the couch. The whole thing felt so weird, so I went out and asked him details about the debts. After 20 minutes of back and forth, he finally admitted he isn't stressed about debt and isn't having any money problems. He just isn't attracted to me anymore. I asked him what about me has changed since the last time he was attracted to me, because I'm pretty sensitive about my body image my entire life. However, I have never shared those insecurities with anyone, not even him. It's something I always kept to myself, but even with my current body, I honestly don't think I look that bad. So far, I've literally only gained 25 to 30 pounds, and I'm still working out and working full-time. So now I'm almost mad, because I didn't get fucking pregnant on my own, and last time I checked I was at the one begging for a kid for the past 2 years. I'm giving him 2, and now he's saying I'm ugly because of my belly. Pregnancy hormones and whatnot. I started crying a little but wiping them away as fast as I could because I was more mad than sad. He said it's not me, it's the pregnancy, and he's concerned about the long-term effects to my body after seeing videos of postpartum bodies and C-section scars. Then told me it wasn't fair that I was upset because he's having a natural male reaction and I'm manipulating his feelings. He's never said anything like this before, either. I asked him to explain what a natural male reaction is, and he said what makes a guy hard and what makes a guy not hard. I asked him to go stay with a friend for a night or two so I can have some space, and he's staying at his sister's, who called me and asked what happened because we never really fight. I don't know what to do, really. I'm exhausted from everything already, and this on top of it is just making me feel even worse. I've been crying all day and don't have anyone to really talk to this about, so any advice would be very helpful. Thank you. Story 2. I just discovered my husband was on dating sites. I just discovered that my husband joined Ashley Madison, Hinge, Plenty of Fish, and Badoo. He joined the first 2 in the summer of 2021, and the last to 1 month after I delivered our baby and got married in April of 2022. He paid for a Hinge subscription which expired back in September of 2022, and paid for a week's subscription for Badoo. He claims that this was a way for him to get off. Creating these accounts made him feel naughty. I asked if he had a cheating fetish, to which he replied no. I decided to forgive him last night. This morning I looked back at the screenshots I sent myself, and I didn't realize that he's had and paid for Hinge for the past 2 years until this morning. For a little context, I'm a stam with a 11-month-old and 10 weeks pregnant with an extremely high-risk pregnancy, and we're about to close on a new house. I feel so betrayed and hurt. We have such a healthy relationship that this is a complete and utter shock. I don't even know where he finds the time to do this stuff because he lives such a busy life he barely has time to even talk to me most days. I really don't want to lose this relationship, but I feel like I'm being used and definitely lied to, and it makes me want to walk away, but I can't even imagine my life without him. I don't know what I'm going to do. I feel so screwed with all my life events. Update. So I talked with him extensively. We're canceling the house closing. I went through 2 of his emails, one of which was for the dating sites, and saw that they were canceled months ago. I double confirmed by making him log in to see if the email was still in the system or not. From what it looks like, it's not. I told him pretty much what everybody here has been telling me about what he did is cheating and that you don't pay for subscriptions for no reason. He still swears up and down he didn't talk to anybody or meet up with anybody, and it was just swiping through people, and that he needed the subscription to keep swiping unlimited. I'm about 99% sure he's lying because it just doesn't make sense logically. But that's a fight for another day. I told him that if this was flipped and I was doing it, that he would lose his mind, to which he agreed this time. I gave him 2 choices: divorce or marriage counseling. He chose counseling. He's apologized and agreed that what he did was wrong and disrespectful. Obviously, though, he didn't feel that way in the moment, or else it wouldn't have been done in the first place. He said he felt wrong in the moment and after it was all said and done, which is why he got rid of the accounts months ago. I told him that I would never have done that to him because it feels wrong to even think about doing. So he definitely has something wrong with his moral compass if what he says is true. Hopefully therapy will help dissect that. Our relationship is up in the air right now. I'm glad he is taking accountability, but it's a double-edged sword. He's only doing it because he was caught. So we'll see what happens. Story 3. Am I the jerk for kicking out my sister and her kids after they kept letting my cat into the garden? My 26F sister, Lila 32F, recently lost her job, so she can't afford her apartment anymore. She's a single mother of 2 twin boys 8M. I live alone with my cat, but I have a pretty good job that makes it so I can afford nice 4-bedroom house. Since I have room, I decided to let Lila and the boys move in until she can find another apartment job. I only have a few rules for them, mostly basic stuff like if you break something, pay me back, keep things clean, stuff like that. Except there's one rule that they seem to be having trouble with. I told Lila that no matter the circumstances, do not ever let my cat into the garden. My cat is very prone to eating stuff he isn't supposed to, and that includes the flowers in my garden. One time I accidentally let him out, and he chewed through some of them completely, so then I decided to just put him in my room whenever I go to garden. A few weeks ago, when I was at work, Lila told me the boys had accidentally let him into the garden. Thankfully, he didn't get out or anything, but he destroyed some of my roses again. I told Lila to put him in my room next time the boys went out to the garden, and she told me she would. Lo and behold, a week or so later, he gets into the garden again. My garden is pretty big, so I was pretty worried when I couldn't find him. Thankfully, after a few minutes of panic, I found him hiding behind a large bush, so he was fine. Scared me to death though, so I told Lila if it happened again they could find another place to live. She got pretty mad at me and told me it was an accident, so I should just chill out. I don't think it's that hard to put a cat in a room while you're in the garden. I do it all the time. I thought Lila had gotten the picture after that, because she listened to me and started shutting him in my room. But around 2 days ago, he got out again. This time he actually did escape and I had to track him down. When I got home, Lila just said she was so sorry, and that she just forgot to put him in my room. I was furious at this point. I mean, how hard is it to put a cat in a goddamn room? I told her that she better start packing her stuff because I was not going to let her keep putting my cat's health in danger because she just couldn't bring herself to lock a fucking room. My parents don't have room for them all at their house, so Lila is staying with them while her ex-husband took the boys. She's pissed at me for kicking her out over nothing, and my mom is too, but my dad thinks she deserved it. Am I the jerk for kicking her out? She's been calling me a monster for separating her and her kids,